Hello everybody, welcome to Future Arena. We're going to be doing a first listen of a game I played a while back and I really liked it, but it had some accessibility issues. Now, if there is adequate explanations for everything that's going on in this game, it's actually quite delightful, kind of fun. It's an RPG, it's an arena-based RPG, so there isn't so much exploration as there is fighting, but it's really done in a really unique way. So you get access to a lot of different classes, pets, professions, skills, things like that, and then you get to battle against many different monsters, and you get a really cool, pretty well thought out loot system. And let's just give it a try. But first, I just wanted you to experience something, because at this first listen, we're not going to be really getting into a really extensively long let's play. This is just our first listen. We're going to hear what's going on. We're going to move around with voiceover and make a determination. I am not making a judgment on the accessibility of this app. This app was listed by Apple Viz as accessible. It does have a great deal of interface things that could use improvement. It could use the New Def Gaming Touch, but then you know how we do it, right? We'll take care of this. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that particular thing yet. We're first going to experience this fun app and find out what we like, what we don't like, and just have an independent opinion of it and find out where it goes. But first, I've got to let you hear the music because it's retro, but I got to warn you, it's very loud. But this is going to happen when you first turn on the app. So I need to warn you, when you first turn on the app, make sure you turn off the music or else you will not be able to hear voiceover. And here's what I heard when I first started playing the app.
Title Future Arena. About voiceover help. By Touchmin. Leaderboard. Music is off. Tap to turn on.
Here we go.
Music is on. Tap to turn off.
Now, imagine trying to find controls at the same time.
Sound effects.
Do you hear my? I have my voiceover volume set to 95%. That is very loud. I also have my headphones in, and it's still very loud.
Sound effects are off. Tap to turn on.
All right.
Music is on. Music is off.
All right.
Tap to turn on.
All right, so that was my first dirty trick I had to play on you. I just wanted you all to be ready for this when you download the app and give it a try. And as I say all the time, in my description you will find the app's link in the App Store. You will find the developer's website also. I try to make my first listens descriptions very simple. I just include the game and the developer's website. Occasionally, if I've done a playlist, I might also include that. But for now, this particular description will just have those two elements and two separate links. I'll have a quick title above each one of the links for you for just ease of use. So if this is your first time in the channel, my name is Michael Gray. My pronouns are he, him. I am blind, visually impaired, and there are no visuals that you need to worry about when you come to my channel. We are a complete blind and visually impaired, accessible gaming YouTube channel. We are here to serve the community and bring you games that you can play without any sight whatsoever. That is my mission, that is my goal, that is my life. It is what I wake up doing and what I go to sleep dreaming about. So here we are today with Future Arena, and I played this about 3.5 years ago. It's actually been around for quite some time. Now, I may have played the version that you do exploration. Now, this version is more combat. Now, I found that this game reminds me very much of Sortie Quest a little bit, but Sortie Quest, as we all know, Sortie Quest is very highly refined. It's very refined, but that doesn't mean we can't make the same things happen here. Now, as I'm going to stop occasionally, I'm going to offer some fixes that can make this work. The first fix, please, the music is too loud. Let's bring the music down 75%, the intro music. It's great music. I love retro 8-bit music. You got me. When you bring up 8-bit, Atari 2600 and television, ColecoVision, TurboGrafx music, Nintendo, man, you got me. I am a nerd and I'm old school nerd, so you can bring me the cool music. In fact, go ahead and pop off a whole playlist of 8-bit music. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. But you gotta make it a little bit lighter in volume. I do know that blind people are not the only people that you are catering to, and I'm not trying to be selfish, but we'd love to play your game because it seems fun. It's blast. Okay, so let's lower that volume. And if you're not going to let us lower that volume, could you please put the ability to lower that volume at the top of the screen so that if a blind person, visually impaired person can't hear their voiceover, they can swipe to the right and immediately turn off that music? Or could you allow for us to quickly turn off that intro music? So, because it's very loud. However, I also want to throw out some congratulations. This particular app so far has got very good accessibility functions already off the top of the bat. Number one, you've got buttons. Number two, you've got on and off switches. Number three, you've got checkboxes. Number four, you've got pauses. So the pauses are correct. The buttons are properly spaced. Audio ducking's not making it a nightmare. So with audio ducking, that means that I'm waiting for to hear that button. It's going to take anywhere from 10 seconds to a year. You never know what's going to happen. But in this particular case, the buttons are properly spaced. I know when I need to press and double tap on that button. The buttons are responsive. The menu is properly set up. I'm hearing no headings. Let's go ahead and give it a try for headings.
Speaking rate. Words. Characters. Headings. Heading not found. Heading not found.
No headings. So that's not a big deal, but of course, best practices, headings would be great. This is a swiping game left and right, so that's great.
Leaderboard. Music is off. Leaderboard. Music
Great,
is off.
that's
Tap to turn
working
on.
just fine.
Button.
Let's go ahead and go down to the bottom of the screen with
Sound effects are on.
great.
Tap to turn off.
Four finger
Button.
single tap at the bottom works. Let's 4-finger tap the top.
Title Future Arena.
Great.
Button.
Best. Let's find out if I can stop it from talking.
Start. Button.
No. 2-finger tap the screen does not make it be quiet. Now, one great thing I'm going to offer to, I think, at the developer. Let me give the developer credit first because the whole point here is we need to keep developers getting credit for what they do, the work they do. I want to let you know that I really appreciate what you do. I really want to appreciate this developer who is...
voiceover help. About.
Let's go ahead and get out the credits for this developer.
Coding, design and game engine, Randall Higgins. Pixel art, Oryx, Ollie's, 7 Soul Music, at Dalaman 42, EME, David R, Tails SFX, Artistic Dude, Page 0 SS, The Bardoff Blasphemy, BFXR, Kenny, Treasure Sounds Writer / Voiceover Specialist, Jeff S, In a T, No LB, Special Thanks, Touch Arcade and Audio Games.
All right, just wanted to give, people who do the work in games to make them don't often get credit. I'm one of those persons, I like to give people credit. My name is Michael Gray, and you can always email me at newdeath2014@gmail.com. That's NEWDEATH 2014@gmail.com. And I am pleased to help any developer who is working to make games ready for people who are blind and visually impaired to enjoy. I am here to help you, and I work real cheap. Which is usually free. But yeah, I'm here to help you. Contact me. I have a whole group of very wonderful, cool people, and I hope one day to get paid for what I do. But for now, I'm just trying to spread the word that I can help developers get some of that accessibility, get that accessibility refined, enhanced, and upgraded so that people can play your game. And I'd love to promote your game. So that's what I do here in this channel. I help developers who make blind accessible, visually impaired accessible games for everyone. I help promote what you do. I help bring people's attention to what you're doing, your websites, your tools, your games, your fun, all the things that you create about your games. I want people to enjoy what your hard-earned work has put into this, the creative process behind it. I have almost 3,000 subscribers, and I want them to get a chance to know what you're doing. I am very good with developers. I have a pretty good resume. If you'd like to hear it, go ahead and contact me. I'll send it to you. But by the way, I've been playing games since I was 4 years old. The first game I ever got my hands on was Pong. I was just walking down the street, my mom holding my hand, and I saw an old looking thing just scrapped on the side of a wall, and I grabbed it. It was a Pong machine. I put it back together, and I had my first video game system. I was a desperate kid. I love games. I've been playing them ever since. So getting back into this, let's talk about some things we can do here, but let's also go ahead and start the game, and I'm going to give you some of my opinions. Now, briefly before I started playing, I took about a good hour or so to kind of familiarize myself with the controls and swipe through all the things within this particular game. I wanted to make sure that I could move around and have something to offer you. So I have a lot of views that I'm going to be able to offer you and some opinions. And I really think I'm going to give you a I think you're all going to be surprised at what I have to say about Futurina.
Adventure to Fate Quest to the core download link. Button.
All right.
Credit plus.
Let's get back out of this.
Back to start menu. Button.
All right. Back buttons are
Title
present.
Futurina. Button.
And I got to say, that's another A+. So, you know, there are a lot of things as a blind person I appreciate. I never thought I'd appreciate these things. I thought those things wouldn't make much of a difference. But a back button, oh, love back buttons. 4-finger tap, top, bottom, love that feature. Thank you so much. So let's give them an A+ for the features that are working. So top and bottom, 4-finger taps working, back buttons working, buttons are working, swipes with pauses are working, proper audio ducking spacing's working, and we can turn it on and off the soundtrack. Thank you. Otherwise, you're going to hear a very super
sound effects are on.
Loud.
Music is off.
This.
Music is on. Tap to turn off.
Yeah, baby. Come on, baby. Futurina.
Music is off. Tap to turn on.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I can party to that all night long. So that's cool. So definitely A+, being able to put the sound track off and on the title screen, able to put the sound effects off and on title screen. A+ for that. Good job. Let's get into gameplay.
Leaderboard button.
Oh, also leaderboard, just gonna get an A+ for that. I already went through the whole leaderboard. I'll briefly show you that. This thing's got Game Center access. It's got leaderboards. That's an A+, because we want to compare ourselves to other people. The whole point of life is to prove I'm better than you.
Music is off. Tap to
all
turn
right,
off.
let's find out what else we got here.
By Touchmint.
By Touchmint. Developer by Touchmint. Touchmint's been around for a while. They have quite a bit of experience in creating games. And they have a little bit of experience, I would have to say, in making games accessible. You know, any developer that even tries, even for a minute, to make a game accessible, you get a big, huge hug from my community, because you know what, there's something called scarcity in the blind visually impaired community. That means that there are not a lot of games in our community. It's tough. It's really tough when you wake up in the morning, you're like, I want to play a different game today. I can only play, I only have about 40 titles that I can play. Whereas a sighted person has 40 million titles to play. Not jealous, not jealous. Hey, not jelly. I'm jelly. Listen, I'd like to make sure that people who are visually impaired and blind, that our disabilities don't prevent us from being able to have access to all the things that there are for us to do. We would like the same access to the wonderful titles that come out of the creative minds of people who make them. We want to play games. We want a lot of different titles. I would love to one day wake up and be flooded by titles. You know, that would be great. That I could put on my iOS 8. I think somebody called my phone an 8 dinosaur. Yeah, I have a dinosaur phone. So what? Yeah, it's a dinosaur phone. I'm just being cheeky here.
By help button.
But yeah, I'd like to wake up and be overwhelmed by games, just like every other person.
Voice over help button.
All right, this is great. So this is going to get you a nice little A right here. This is great. So the developer put a nice little voiceover thing. I'm going to go ahead and let you hear that. Now, it's not going to have any pauses. So let's talk about putting pauses and not overwhelming everything that's read. Now, I can go in here and try to copy this, with 3-finger quadruple tap. I don't know if that will work. I will try to do that by going to the developer's website and seeing if I can find this information. But I'm going to let you hear its voiceover help, and then we're going to talk about what we can do to improve that.
About voiceover help.
Let's go ahead and double tap that.
Alert. Getting started with voiceover.
Okay, so the first thing it does is give you a warning, got that little warning sound, which is fine. We could probably use a game sound. I do not think just because we're asking for voiceover help that we need to make it so that we need to use that sound. You could use any little cute little sound and just make it so that the whole message doesn't play all at once. I'm going to show you.
Getting started with character creation. First and foremost, you must create a character.
Okay, that's
to
the
do so,
pause.
click the start button at the main screen.
Let me see if
then
I can
click
stop
create
it.
character.
Okay, great. So at least 2-finger double tap, 2-finger single tap works here. So if you're going to listen to this whole message, you're going to have to listen to parts. It's all one long message. For developers, please don't make one long 60-page message, please. I'm sorry, I'm exaggerating a bit, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. Just if we can break it up a little bit so that we can swipe to the right to hear the whole message. As it is now, I would have to listen to this several times. Now, I've turned my voiceover rate down slower to make it easier for me to retain the knowledge, but it would be great for visually impaired and blind users of this game to not have the entire message, just one big message. Let us swipe and just read a little bit at a time, okay?
Done. Button.
All right, I'm going to let it read through. Here we go.
Getting started with character creation. First and foremost, you must create a character. To do so, click the start button at the main screen. Then click create character. Once in the character creation screen, find the edit name box and name your character.
Excuse me.
Next, choose your class using the buttons that directly follow the name edit field. A note before proceeding. It is possible to open an index information screen if you select anything other than the buttons directly following the name edit field. This will open a tool screen used to give the player more detailed information of any given class. This screen must be closed before any other actions can be achieved. To close the index information screen, locate and click the words close index. Now that you have selected your class, choose one of the starter pets using the previous pet and next pet buttons until the one you desire is visible. The last choice you must make is to choose a profession for your character. This is done near the bottom by using the previous profession and next profession buttons, until the profession you desire is visible. Now that you have made your choices, click the create button, giving the game anywhere from 5-10 seconds for the game to create your character's world. Now that your character is created, click your character name to enter the world. You will be placed into the world, after a short delay for loading.
All right, so that's a lot of information. So we could break this up, throw some bullet points in there, make this a lot easier. By the way, this is fantastic. Thank you very much. That's an A for that. So that's an A for effort because they really try to explain everything in here. And this is very valuable information because what it was talking about before, those pop-ups, that's an easy thing to fix. If you want to throw a bunch of pop-ups at us, just say pop up and then have that pop-up control built into the game and we can pop it off. So pop up, we can pop it off. But if we get a pop-off, a pop-up, let's just make it so that we can just dismiss that pop-up. Very cool to do that. So you don't need, if you're going to have all these pop-ups giving us more information about everything, just allow us to just dismiss it. But thank you very much for including these instructions. This is rather useful. So that's what we have here. And A+ for having a done button. Always love the done button. Done button's my best friend because I feel very accomplished once I know that I'm done with something. So great.
Done button.
So done button and properly button A+. Thank you. Let's go ahead and double tap that. And yes, the double tapping works well. And of course, so on the title, you can't stop the sound, but you can stop the sound on the voiceover information. So we're doing really good here. We're getting through a lot of this. This first listen, I would say, is successful. I actually made myself a character. It took less than a few minutes. And the first time I played this, maybe a few years ago, I wasn't able to do so. So mind you, I had a lot less blindness skills, but anyone who's blind, I have this rule. When a person who's blind opens up a game, they should be able to work and function in it and make it work. It just isn't a trouble for sighted people. I really feel like developers, okay, so this is my big rant. Developers should spend a lot of time making these comfortable for sighted people. I understand you believe that they're going to do a lot more for you, but let's think about other people who want to play these games. And for blind people, if you can just give us some consideration about the way your game works and looks and functions, we may not have the same large number of people, but we still have the same desire and heart to play your games. And if you make your apps accessible, I promise you good things will happen. good things will happen for you. 100%.
Title Future Arena.
All right. So let's go to
Start button.
the start.
About. Start
Okay. Oh, and
button.
the about button I think was okay. Let me quickly go through the about because it's amazing. Now this is A+. Let's go
About
into the about
button.
section. Love
Credits,
this.
Coding. Design and game engine. Adventure to Fate Quest to the core download link.
Okay,
Button.
there's some.
Adventure to Fate Quest. Adventure to Fate
Let me
Quest to the core
find
download
the.
link. Button.
There is a actual help menu section here. I
Check
don't
out
know
the
if I
other
did it
adventures.
right.
If you like this game, please take a minute of your time and leave a rating/review. It helps more than you will ever know.
Okay, great.
Website. Rate. Button.
Rate.
Support. Button.
Support.
Support. Button.
So there's a support section here and everything. Okay, there's a help section. Let me find it. Now I got a little lost here. Let me
Rate.
find it.
Website. If you check out Adventure to Fate Quest to the core download link.
Okay,
Button.
there's some more games here, so that's really good. Developers, I love this. That is great when you put your games here. I find most of my games by going to the App Store and looking for other games by the developer. I really don't know why developers don't spend much time advertising their own games. It's your game. Why don't you advertise all the other games you make? Because I might like you. So I might want to get more of your stuff. We can start a beautiful relationship here.
Adventure to Fate Quest
All right, let's
to the
go
core
back.
Credits. Plus. Button. Battle Arena credits and support.
Let's battle. There's support here. I haven't touched that because I'm sure that's going to pop me to a website.
Back to start menu.
Let's go
Button.
back to start menu.
Title
There's
Future
a
Arena.
help button here if I can find it.
Start.
Start.
Button.
About.
Button. Voiceover help.
Voiceover help.
Button.
Okay, there we go. We got help. Okay, just read, Michael. All right, so we've got help. Now, this is absolutely the best help I've ever seen in a game. It is so well
Help you.
done. It needs a little bit of cleaning up when you're done reading about a topic. That's an easy fix. All we have to do is clean it up so that when we're done reading a topic, go ahead and include that done button. Let us close everything up. This is a perfect help menu. It is so useful. However, just needs a little bit of a touch up when we're done reading. So I'm going to swipe through some of these elements and gush about this.
General. Button.
Okay, so you've got a general button, gives you general information. Double tap that.
Characters.
You
Button.
get to hear about characters. Double tap that. It'll talk about the different characters.
Combat. Button.
You can hear how combat works. Get rid of the greater than and less than symbols. Just put bullet point there or something else there. I don't mind the greater or lesser than as symbols you're using to separate categories. I guess it's better than hyphens. I guess it talks a little bit more than hyphens or bullet points. I do believe we can put something like separator. I would like separator just a little nicer. I think that would work out well, but I'm not here to tell you what to do with your game. It's you're the one that programmed it. I'm a nobody and I have none of your skills. So you do what you want to do. I just think the greater than and lesser things are a little overdone.
Professions. Button.
Or you can choose a profession. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'd like to have more games include professions. Professions are fabulous. And this game, if the professions work the way I think they're going to work, I'm going to really love it.
Exit help library.
All right,
Button.
and then thank you for the exit. Clearly, no typos. Man, let me tell you so many times, typos are my bane of my existence because I already have, Samantha already does the strangest voices and way she pronounces certain things is already strange enough. God bless Apple, I even have a voice to listen to. As a blind person, let me tell you something, I'm not trying to be unappreciative. As a blind person, I appreciate every day that iOS works for me. Now, I love that everything here there is very clean work here, no typos, everything is well written out, everything has pauses, so there are periods and spaces at the end. I always say if you're going to include labels on buttons, period and space. Give VoiceOver a chance to go and take a breath. When you let VoiceOver go blah, 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 it's really frustrating to deal with and really tough for people who might be hard of hearing. And I have a slight hearing issue, so I have a slightly hard of hearing at times. It's not a disability per se, but it can be a problem for me. So,
General.
the great thing is there's more to this particular menu. You've got those main categories of help, but they put more. This is awesome. So keep swiping to your right, and thank you for the left and right swipe navigation.
3 greater than signs. About. 3
And-
less than signs.
See, there's the greater later than sign. I don't like those, but that's not a big deal.
Adventure to Fate. Future Arena is a JRPG style game with a futuristic medieval fantasy setting. Your goal is to stop the evil forces from the future.
Okay, simple premise. Stop the evil forces from the future. la 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 la. Let's take care of them. So let's do it. I don't mind. It's cool. Very well spoken. Everything's cool. You didn't overload anything with too much words, too much verbosity. Everything's cool. Everything's great. I love it. You get all the information about the app right here. So this is the kind of thing that makes my job easy. As a person who talks about accessible games, you make my job easier. I can explain how to play this game all right here. And why this got double A pluses was that if I want to explain to a person how to play this game, I simply can refer them to your help menu. It's beautifully laid out and it works perfectly with voiceover. There's not a bunch of music playing. There isn't a bunch of jumping around sounds and pop-ups and read a rap. You don't hear all that stuff. Everything is clean. Everything's smooth. I love it. Let's keep swiping through.
3 greater than signs. Movement. 3 less than signs.
You've got headings. I do not believe headings work with it, though. You've made your own special headings.
Heading not found.
Yeah, there are no headings. Best practices, go ahead and throw those headings in there. That'd be great. Line by line movement. I'm going to go ahead and see if that works.
Characters, words, lines.
Oh, wait. I just heard lines activate.
3 greater than signs. 3 greater than.
It pulled up 3
greater than signs.
Let's see if movement. I can move it.
Movement is done by tapping on the. Movement is done by tapping on the squares surrounding your character.
Okay. Okay. So I used lines. Now, I don't know if vertical scrolling will do any better. Somebody get back to me and leave me a message in the comments if that works. If anybody finds, I always offer to the community, if you find tricks and tips, please leave them in the comments. I'll utilize them. And if it works in a future video, I will include that in my appraisal of the app. If you think I am obviously missing something and it's just astoundingly bad that I missed that, please, in a loving way, could you mention it to me? And in the next appraisal of the video, I will mention it. And if I do a Let's Play series in this game, which I very well could be because I like it, I will mention everything that you've said. I'm all about collaborative accessibility, work correction, improvements with my community. We are a collaborative body. We are the Borg. We are the Borg. We are the blind, visually impaired Borg. Struggle is useless. We will make this app accessible. Yes. Jean-Luc Picard, Borg, Star Trek The Next Generation, reputedly the best series in all of Star Trek. So let us continue to go through this menu, and I will keep my commentary minimally.
You can also move by using the direction pad.
Okay, there's a direction pad, and yes, there is a direction pad. When we get into the game, I'll talk about it. It needs a little love. We can really make that direction pad sing. It needs a little love, but with a little work, I think we can tighten it up a little bit better. And I'll get into that because I think we're gonna have just enough time in this video to kind of create a character and get started. I really want everyone to try this game, but let's keep going through some of the talk about what's in here. So we got a direction pad.
Darkened right corners indicate a link to another room.
All right, darkened right corners indicate a link to another room. Now, that could bear a little bit more explanation. I would have no idea what that means. Thank you for trying, though. That's a good try.
3 greater than signs. Searching. 3 less than signs.
All right, searching's a little wonky. Let's get more sounds into that. I did try it in game. You're all gonna experience it. Searching, let's put some more words into that. Let's make some more sounds. Maybe I'm rustling through a bag or some garbage on the floor. Make that ding ding dong. Pots and pans, dishes crashing. Listen, I want to enjoy my searching through garbage. I'm an adventurer. I steal anything. If I'm going to be searching through bags, garbage, tins, whistles, grabbing stuff, grabbing items, searching under couches, garbage cans, cabinets, treasure chests, inside of warehouses, laboratories, let's make sounds appropriate to what I'm searching through. I'd love to have that happen for blind, visually impaired users, being able to hear something representative of the place we're searching through. Many games are adapting that kind of approach. If you can make intuitive sounds, it doesn't matter if you don't have a very big repertoire of sounds to use, just make individual sounds, stick to them, and provide us with a table that explains to us what those sounds do. You will be surprised how quickly blind, visually impaired users adapt to them. Okay, so yes, the sound in this game is only a mono sound. It's like that could be definitely improved. I like it that you really tried. This is not a condemnation, everyone. This developer's actually really trying. I don't want people to get onto this developer's website and say, NDG said you weren't doing it right. No, this developer's doing it right. They are honestly putting an effort to make this app work for blind, visually impaired players. I don't want anybody to think this is criticism. These are some improvements we can make, because this is potentially a game-breaking, very, very heavy potential RPG. That is what I do. I'm an RPG player. I've been playing everything from Link, The Legend of Zelda, back to Space Invaders, back to playing Nintendo, Final Fantasy, Squaresoft. I go back a long way, bruh. You know, you don't know what's up, bruh. I've been playing RPGs, bruh. I played the first Dragon Quest, bruh. I've been playing games on my video game systems, bruh, for a long time. You know what I'm saying, sis? I've been playing it, you know, So, I've been playing video games for a long time. And, yes, this is a very, very deep RPG. And this is right up my kind of alley. So,
darkened right corners indicate
all
a link
right,
to
let's
another
keep
room.
moving through this menu.
3 greater than signs. By tapping on the square you currently occupy or tapping the middle of the direction pad, you can search your location. In doing so, you can find extra items, pets, or even battles throughout the world.
Okay,
You also use search to activate room types such as portals, shops, and vaults.
Okay, so we can probably break that up into a couple of different messages. Again, swipe right, swipe left. Give us an opportunity to scroll through text. And the way blind people scroll through text is give us the information. We do know to swipe to the right to scroll through the next bit of information. So let's break up those long messages.
3 greater than signs. Room types. 3 less than signs. Portal. These rooms allow you to warp to and from arenas. You can only advance through portals once you have completed the current arena.
Pretty good, straightforward, perfect bite-sized bit of information. That's just the right amount of information. I know what a portal does. I know what I use it for, and I know what the purpose of it is. That's great.
Treasure. These rooms allow you to pick a treasure and are usually at the start of a new arena.
Great. Pick a treasure. I use that method. It didn't represent itself as a treasure. It did say pick a treasure. I like to have a little bit more bells and whistles about that. Treasures should be a little bit more, we should make a little bit bigger a deal about them. Yeah, I did that. I thought it was a little lackluster. That's a criticism, not an accessibility issue. Obviously it worked, but I'd like to put more into that.
Shop.
The shop is there. I did locate it. Now when we get into the game, I'm gonna explain to you a little bit about how the menu moves around. It's very similar to how Sortie Quest does that search kind of like screen where you search for things on that match puzzle. Every single square in the screen is going to be numbered, and once you understand that the maps that you're walking around are numbered, you're going to find moving on them much easier. It also allows vertical and horizontal movement, so you can move in the cardinal directions: north, south, east, west, or north, west, east, south. Doesn't matter.
These rooms allow you to buy or sell equipment and potions.
Yes, and you can sell stuff, so you always have a merchant's shop. This is an arena, so just so you know, this is basically the arena. Everything in this game is about having everything in a accessible area. There are no people here. That'd be great. We'd love to see this game have more upgrades in the future, more updates. They're definitely missing people. I don't know why role-playing games are so empty. Where is everybody? I mean, you're living in a world where people are constantly fighting. There should be thousands of people meandering around, making side bets, wanting to fight you, wanting to trade you black market items, looking to interest you in side quests and other things, wanting you to kill people or kill for them or work for them or sell them something. So I don't know why in mini games everything's so absolutely empty. I do believe we could put a lot more things into games. That's just my own private thing. Well, why don't you just make your own game, Mike? All right, sorry, you're right.
Vault.
All right. Vault, this is a great feature, A+, A+. So being able to give items to my other characters is an absolutely amazing thing. Many games, they always make you stop after you beat a particular class. Why do you take everything away from me? You don't take my stuff. This game allows you to give stuff that you found that you can't use to future characters. Oh, what a novel concept. Exhaustingly awesome. Great. Let's keep swiping
These
forward.
rooms allow you to store extra items and even transfer items between characters on the same account. You can only use this once you have beaten the game.
All right, cool. So this is only activated once you beat the game. That's a fair price to pay. I would beat the game just so I can give my next characters other items. This is great. This has also multiplayer feature possibility, clan, guild future possibility, mostly multiplayer possibility in the future. I could feel that the game could have some multiplayer capability in the future with enough updates. And yes, this game does have some free and paid elements. There are paid elements. You can unlock things. There are some things you can purchase. So I will get into that when I do this is a first listen, so I'm not going to have time to do everything, and this is a pretty long first listen. So I don't know if I'm going to talk about every single aspect of this, but let's keep going.
Infinity Arena.
All right, and this thing's already got an infinite arena. Lovely. That's awesome.
This is an endgame arena that lets you battle any monster or combination of monsters from the ATF universe.
Cool. Adventure to Fate, Arena to Fate. Title's really hard to remember. But the ATF, those acronyms are fun. So yeah, it looks like you can battle any number of monsters you want, which is really cool. So when you become a super hardcore player, you can just go ahead and destroy everything at the end.
Exit game portal.
And go ahead, see, there we go. I can exit the
This
game
room allows
portal.
you to exit the game and will take you back to the character menu.
Okay, that's a little confusing. So this is not the actual exit the game portal. This is it's just pretty well spoken. I was ready to exit. This is just telling me how I get out of the game. So there's a little confusing back and back talk. We could probably fix that up a little bit. Just a little bit better wording, a little bit better timing on how we explain how to exit things in this, but they really put a tremendous amount of effort into it.
3 greater than signs. Combat. 3 less than signs.
Okay, so combat, this gets really long, by the way. I'm not going to go through all these. Check out the help. It's quite extensive. It's extremely well done. It is perfect. You can 2-finger stop the talking. You can swipe left and right and navigate. Spend a great deal of time learning as much as you can here. We're going to move forward. I'm going to 4-finger tap the top of the screen.
Page 1 of 2. Help view.
All right.
Help view. General. Button. Characters. Help view. Help view.
Wait. I'm going to go to the bottom and get out here. Let me find out here.
3 greater than signs. Combat. You can view your skill. Combat/fighting. Combat/fighting occurs while in a battle.
Okay.
From page 1 of 2.
Maybe I can get out.
Help view. Help view. General. Button. Help view.
Let's click the help view. Nope. Looks like I'm not going to get out
help
here.
View. General. Characters. Combat. Button. Shop. These rooms allow vault. These rooms.
Okay.
Infinite.
Looks like
this
they
is
don't
an
want me
endgame
to
arena.
get out.
Page 2 of 2. 3 greater than sign. The only way to
Okay, I'm gonna try
3
to
greater than sign. The only way to
okay,
exit the game is by using the blue exit game portal in the first and last dungeon arena.
Let's fix this right here. So there's no. Let's find out if there's a scrub. Scrub doesn't work. So if I make a Z motion, that'd be great if you can let me get out of it. So getting out of the help menu, let's make that a little bit easier. So that's
the only way to exit the game
would be great.
3 greater than ATF saves on its own automatically. Wow. 3 greater than sign. Game score is calculated. 3 greater than signs. Combat/fighting. You can view your skills and potion. 3 greater than signs. This room allows you to exit game portal.
Let's see if I can get out that way. Nope.
This is an infinity arena. These vault. These shop. These.
I'm gonna keep swiping back and see if I can close this.
Darkened right. You can also. Movement is 3 greater. Advent 3 greater than general. Exit help library button. Exit help library.
Let's fix that. Button. That's really counterintuitive and very disruptive and very difficult to use. So the help menu is great. So I'm going to drop it down to 1A+ because it is still beautiful. Let's make it a little easier to get out of that menu because that's a little clunky. But yeah, folks, so far everything's great. We've only been on the first page and there's still so much here. Everything here overall, it's an A+. Sorry. I don't have anything negative to say. I'm just offering some things that we could do to make this even better.
Title future start.
Let's go ahead and start a game.
Start. Back to menu button.
All right. So everything, the back button's working here just fine. We're gonna go swipe to our right.
Create character.
There you go. Perfect. That's how you do it, folks. Mic drop. Create a character. Let's not make it complicated. Don't sell me all your stuff. Just let me create something So let's go ahead and create a character. I'm going to walk you briefly through this process.
Back to menu. Create character. Button.
So I'm going to double tap on that. Double tap.
Enter character name. Text field.
So I'm going to advise you, just get the character name out of the way. Let's go ahead and double tap. Create a
Enter
character.
character name.
The QWERTY
Text
keyboard
field.
comes up at the
Character
bottom.
mode. Insertion point at
Voiceover's
start.
talking real loud.
Use the
Voiceover,
menu to access
stop
misspelled words.
over talking me. All right, so go ahead and put your name. Let's call ourselves, I've already made New Def Gaming, so let's go ahead and call myself Mike.
Cap V. Cap B. Cap N. Cap M. Cap M.
M.
I.
You can
I.
capitalize
K.
because you got proper
Kilo.
English
K.
skills.
B.
All right, and let me show you something.
Done.
The done button. Lovely. A+. You get extra credit, Settlement. So let's go ahead and double
Done.
tap that done button. How
Create
many developers do y'all know that don't use done buttons? What is wrong with you? You must have done buttons, okay? So that's already great here. So now we've got our character name created. So this is where it could get a little wonky, so be careful. There's a lot of pop-ups here, but there's no pop-up dismiss. So, but you can do it. Go ahead and go back and read the about, and definitely read the help section. Definitely read the voiceover help section that is very very obtrusively overwritten. It could be broken down a little bit more and explained a little bit better, but it could have a few more periods and spaces in it, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, you can listen to it over and over again if you need to get the gist of it. And the great thing is you can two-finger tap the screen to get it to be quiet. So that's best practices. Everything's fine. It's all copacetic. Now that we've created our character name, let's go ahead and swipe to the right.
Create button. Cancel.
It
Button.
shouldn't be create already because we have to select things. Let me find out.
Create button.
I'm gonna just
Create. Cancel. Create button.
I'm gonna create that.
Create.
I shouldn't create already.
Back to menu. But create character. Mike. Level 1 class. Savage.
All right.
Actions available.
Oh, okay. Well, it just randomly created a character for us. We didn't get to select anything. All right, so in order to choose things, and we're going to need to work on that, okay? So you've made it so that we select create. I'm going to show you all the proper way to do it, but by the way, for the developer, if you want to fix that, then you should make sure that we have to do all the character creation ideas. Like, you've got all these beautiful things we can do, like choose a pet, choose a profession, choose our starting abilities and all that stuff like that, but you just put a big fat create button there, and if I double tap that, I just make a random character. So that's great. Just tell me, randomize character, create. That'd be beautiful. So that's a feature you can automatically add. But let's actually create a character that we want. So let's go ahead and swipe.
New Deep Gaming. Mike. Create character.
Let's
button.
go ahead and double tap create character.
Enter character name.
Okay.
Text field.
So ignore that text field and let's touch the middle of the screen.
Cultists devote their life and soul to the dark
All right,
arts.
here we go.
They use psychic powers to control
Now,
and destroy the...
You can two-finger tap to get voiceover to be quiet, which is beautiful, A+. So you're not going to want to put your name in yet and push create, or else it's just going to give you a random character. Go ahead and touch the middle of your screen. I'm sorry, it's going to be just navigate by touch. That's sometimes a bit of a dirty word in the blind and visually impaired community, but sometimes we have to do what we have to do, y'all. I don't endorse any game that has extensive workarounds. This is a very small compromise. I'm not going to complain about it extensively. If that is a deal breaker for you, that's nothing I can do about that. All I can offer to you is that working with developers and being kind, patient, loving, and being expressive and giving good feedback is the best way to make things change. We don't get any change if we start getting sullen and crying about it. So we just have to try to work with developers to make things work. And when developers are really trying hard, like in this particular game, I am willing to spend the time. I mean, what is it if you spend several hours giving extensive feedback to a developer? How does that hurt you? It hasn't hurt you. It might just be the difference between a developer deciding to make that change. You be the change, as the expression goes. All right, so now let's go ahead and select a particular class.
Choose pet. Mutant. Zombie. Range.
Okay, I gotta go all the way back here.
Gem.
Now, where the disconnect is going to happen is here, that if wherever your finger touches, you never know where your finger is going to land up. It's just so random. We need to organize these fields a little bit better. So the best practice would be, let's do one thing at a time. Let's select a class. Let's get everything selectable. Let's flood me with all your information, give me a next button, and then let's next. Then give me all your pets, all the crazy and wild things they do. Let's done and let's next. These are the kind of things that make very, very juicy, wonderful, lovely RPGs like this work. But if you make everything just scattered all over the page, and that's not what you intended to do, it's just that you intended to make this game accessible to the blind. I know it's not easy. You're working with Apple, you're working with VoiceOver, you're working with extensive amounts of creative work. You're also trying to work through your own UI, which was specifically designed for people who are blind and visually impaired. And on top of that, you're really trying hard to make it accessible. I want to give you a big pat in the back because this isn't easy. I can't imagine how many sleepless nights you spend making these particular apps accessible. Now, and especially when blind people and visually impaired people can be pretty whiny. And let's just say I count myself among them occasionally. So let's just talk about how we can work on this. So you're going to basically, if you're just playing this game, you want to play this game today, right? So we're going to get this game's accessibility improved, y'all. But first, let's make sure you can play and have some fun. So let's go look for a class to play. I chose personally, and I did it today. I just did it like 30 minutes ago. I chose to play
Mercenary.
Mercenary. Now,
Cultist button.
You can choose a cultist. Go ahead and double tap on a cultist, and I'm going to show you what you're going to get. This little pop-up box. I'm going to double tap.
Cultist. Mercenary button.
Okay.
Gem button.
Now I double tapped. You're like, well, what happened? Well, that's the thing. You can double tap, and then you don't know, but there's a pop-up box that just came out.
Cultist. Pet section. Button.
All right, so that's the thing. See, we can also move away from selecting our class. See, there's a lot of problems here. We just need to fix that. But you know, if you move away from selecting your class, don't worry, it's been selected. Just start on your next job to select. So there's that's that problem I wanted to show you. So now I'm going to go ahead and select a pet. Now the bad thing about the pet menu is that they give you pets that are available and pets that are not available. Just take the first pet that's available and just work your way through the game and unlock more pets.
Choose pet.
Okay, so you can choose a pet. That's not a button. I'm going to test.
Choose pet.
Nope, it's not a pet.
Cultists devote their life and soul to the dark arts.
All right, there you go. So I double tapped on a
foes.
button. When I double tapped on a button, the choose pet menu faded away. It went into the background, and it brought me to that pop-up, which is the cultist. Now that we're in the cultist,
choose pet.
I'm back on that.
Mutated fly button.
I'm going to take the mutated fly.
Previous pet. Mutated fly.
Let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
An enormous fly that has the ability to sting as well as boost your reflect damage.
All
Your
right,
SP recovery is boosted during battle.
This is going to be one that they call
NPC 838. Mutated fly. Close info screen. Button.
This is what we call an info screen. This is a pop-up. This is going to be the kind of bane of your existence, or you're going to love it. Okay, so these things have a couple of acronyms and symbols and a few typos. These could be greatly fixed up. These are gorgeous, but let's clean these up a little bit, and let's make sure that we can either select a checkbox to make sure they never pop up again, or let's make sure that once we've read them, they don't pop up again unless we want them to pop up again. Let's just make sure everything pops up because we want it to pop up. Not that we're selecting a creature, we should be able to select it. And once we select it, you should offer us an opportunity to read more about it. We may not want to know more about it, so you're forcing us through a lot of unnecessary pop-ups. And let's turn this into a pop-up so that we can dismiss it. But the way you dismiss these are swipe to your left.
Info view. Info view.
And then I think, it's going to be at the bottom.
Close, mute, NPC, mutated, close info screen.
There we go,
button.
Close info screen button. Okay, so you have to look for that close. That's fine, at least it works. Let's double tap.
Close info screen.
Okay, we're out of the info screen.
Zombie. Dim.
All right, see, then we just wind up someplace different. See, this is the thing. VoiceOver is flying all over the place. It's just randomly just flying all over the place. Focus is all over the place. Let's fix that. Let's have it go back to the last item that we were working on. Best practices. Okay, so
Mercenary. Button.
Now, we were working on Mercenary, right?
Cultist.
And we decided to be a cultist. So we don't know if we selected cultist. So could we please make sure select it? Let's go ahead and say we've selected an item. Either we've selected it or we haven't selected, or please ask us to select, or give us some help. You can have certain kind of sound effects that tells us that we selected something. You can make a sound that goes bling or something to that effect. Let's just get some feedback from the blind and visually impaired community, and you know, find something that works for you.
Assassin.
All right, now there's all kinds of classes in the game. They're absolutely fantastic. This game is beautiful. Classes are beautiful. That's a triple A plus. Great job. That's absolutely fantastic when a developer spends the time to create all these wonderful classes. These are absolutely fantastic. I am in awe of you.
Savage.
All right, let's move forward.
Button. Ranger. Zombie. Mutant. Illusionist. Button.
And you're just going to keep swiping to your right.
Alien. Time Guardian. Arcane Archer. Class section. Button. Cultist.
So I do not know if you can play all these classes off the bat. Best practices, it might be a little easier if you make it so that they unlock these classes. That might make the replay value in your game last a little bit longer. I don't want to be able to play everything. I like being able to unlock it, but I understand what you're saying. You're making us have access to any class we want. You're very generous. You are quite generous. You know, so I'm always going to the 300. You all kind. So great. We can play anything we want. Let's swipe. Okay, so now we're in the pet section. This is what I did last time. I double tapped that.
Pet section.
And it didn't do anything, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if headings work.
Headings. Character. Headings. Heading not found.
Headings don't work, so I don't know what that button does, because that button made absolutely nothing else but a clack. It made a clack, which means I double tapped it, but the button didn't activate anything. It didn't tell me anything. It didn't move me to a new screen. You're not giving me any information, so let's fix that. Let's make buttons do something, or tell us what we've done. Let us understand that we've selected something, moved something, adjusted the UI in some way. We can clean this up. We can do it together. Let's go ahead and swipe to the right. So we can choose a pet here.
Cultists devote their life and soul to the dark arts.
And see, now I'm back to the cultist menu. So
mutated fly button.
I've already chosen mutated fly.
Mutated fly. An enormous fly that has NPC 830. An enormous fly that bonus skills.
Okay, so now I'm at.
Aura.
Okay, so I have some bonus skills. Don't know what that means because the UI is all over the place. So
bonus skills. An enormous fly that has bonus skills. Shock sting. Reflective aura.
Okay.
Bonus
Don't
skills.
know what that stuff is.
Bonus skills. Info view. Close info screen.
Let's close info screen.
Close info screen.
So you gotta
Class
close
section.
those info screens. I'm gonna keep moving.
Cultist. Pet section. Choose pet. Cultist.
I've already chosen
mutated
pet.
Fly. Previous pet. Next pet. Mutated fly.
You can look at lots of different pets.
An enormous starting psychic bolt. Pond button. Psychic bolt.
Okay, these are what's confusing. It reads skills twice. Please, let's clean that up. I have no idea what we're doing here. So I understand these are my main abilities, but you don't tell me kind of much. I can double tap them. I'm sure I'll get lost in your info screens, but I'm swiping through them twice. What is the significance of that? I do not understand.
Pond.
Okay.
Profession section button.
Okay, so this is the cool part. You get to profession section. So everything up until now, it's a workaround. We can figure it out.
Choose profession.
Let's choose a profession.
Pet skills.
And see, now we got pet skills popping up when we're supposed to be choosing a profession.
Weaponsmith button.
Okay, weaponsmith sounds good. I think anybody would use that. Let's go ahead and select weaponsmith. Now we got an info view. Of course, you know you got to clean up that info view.
Close info screen.
Let's close that info screen. Keep swiping.
Pet choose pet. Mutated fly. Next. Mutated fly.
I think we've got everything done. I'm gonna four-finger tap and see if we can just select.
Center of screen. Create button.
All right, great. I'm at the bottom. I think I can move on.
Cancel button. Weaponsmith.
Okay, I've selected weaponsmith. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Experiment with it. You can get it to work, folks. It's just a little tricky. And now I'm going to go ahead and just create this character. It's hit wait 5 to 10 seconds. In my experience, it doesn't take that long, but let's find out what happens.
Cancel. Create button.
I'm going to go ahead and create.
Create. Alert. Warning. You must fill out a name to continue.
Oh, okay. Great. So good. That's great. Good practice.
Close. Close. You must fill out a name. Close. Button.
Okay, let's close that. Let's fill out our name.
In-app purchase shop. Button. Enter character name.
All right, let's go ahead and enter character name.
Insertion point at end.
All right. Let's call this character's name Def.
Cap F. Cap D. Cap D. R. E. E.
It's all over the place. Okay, we can work on that a little bit. Okay, so that's a little weird. So the quirky keyboard is a little weird. Now remember, people are using double taps with their finger, thumb, hand, whatever. So that we might need to clean that up a little bit. Okay, H, there is a done button. Get that in there. Let's 4-finger tap the bottom of the screen. And boom. All right. Now we've created a character. Now once you've created a character, you can have several characters created in a row, and then you're now in a create character start point. You've got Def created, and I am a cultist. So as you can hear, I've created a cultist, which is great. And remember the previous class that auto created for us? We've created a savage. I don't like that name. I think we should change savage to barbarian, because I think savage kind of has some negative kind of racialized connotations. We could probably change savage to barbarian. I think I understand what you were trying to say. So this would probably be barbarian, what we're talking about here. And then New Def Gaming, I selected a mercenary, which is perfectly fine. I love that. So let's go ahead and double tap on Def, and we're going to go ahead and go into the game. So there's going to be a lot of voiceover talking, and it's really well done. Like I said, the story is incredible. I love it. All right, so you're going to get voiceover help and information, which is beautiful, very well done, A+. Okay, this is really long. So we can put some pauses in here. Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and quiet voiceover. Okay, we could do a lot with this. It's very useful. Everything in your map is numbered from 1 to whatever number, so you can move up, down, left, right, and you'll develop a sense of the correlation of where you're moving. If you've had any fun playing Sortie Quest, I'm sure you have, because most of you are sortiers out there, you'll know that moving in your map and Sortie Quest on the map page is really fun, because if you activate your voiceover in a certain way, you can move vertically, horizontally, and it's really fun, and you get to know what square you're on. So in the same vein of that, this app lets you move up, down, left, right with a direction pad. And it's also numbered. This app could benefit from vertical and horizontal, things like that. There's a lot of things it could benefit from. It could benefit from a little bit more information, but it's done a good enough job, and the maps are not huge, so it's fine. It's workable, and I'm sure with more of the community stepping in after this first listen to kind of help and support. And I want all of you New Def Gaming fans who love role-playing games, step in, help developers develop these games, help provide feedback, support them, purchase, buy, contribute, donate, kickstart, do whatever it takes. If you have a little spare change, help a developer get a job done, help a single dev, do what you have to do, because this is the way we get it done. This is where we start. This is where it ends. This is where accessibility meets the player. So you have to do what you have to do in order to make games accessible. It's going to require sacrifice from you. Yes, that's what sacrifice means. It comes from the Greek word of sac, and then you have to refice. Okay. All right, so moving on. So after you get through this information, go ahead and click that handy dandy done button, and now you get the story. All right, you're going to get a lot of text information, but the beauty is all these title screens, which are text screens, if you swipe back to the left, you get something called a dialogue view. Gotta like that. Gotta like that. I like that. It's very innovative. So you know you're on a dialogue screen. That's actually best. I'm gonna have to say that's really good. That's really, really good. Give them an A on that one. And now we got the lovely next button. That's what I'm talking about, A+. Next are great because it tells me something next. So I don't expect to play. I got to do some more reading. Let's go ahead and double tap that. And now we got more talking. Go ahead and click next. Also, guess what? There's a skip button. You can skip the entire tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now we get starting treasure information here. You get to choose one treasure. Lovely. Sludgish sludge. Strength. Rusty ring. Gold. Intelligence. Okay, this is the part that's highly confusing, so just pick one. I don't know. You'll figure it out. It's not the best laid out reward menu. We could really clean this up a little bit. What are we doing here? I have no idea. I'm gonna go ahead and take a rusty ring. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, it reflects damage. Let's calm down on the acronyms, please, and let's have some full spellings, or at least a checkbox. Accessibility is a checkbox, so let's not make everything an acronym. This might really confuse new players. Now, I'm a 5th edition master. I know everything that's going on here. I know what you're saying when you say reflect damage. A new player may not know what that means. They may not know what DMG means. They might need you to spell out damage. They may not know what STR, DexCon, Int, Wiz, Chaw means. You know, so a lot of those things, let's spell it out completely for new players. And they may not know what LEV means. They may not know what GG means. And a lot of players don't know what all these acronyms means, and we could be scaring away potential revenue if we keep making too many acronyms in role-playing games. If we want to get more people involved, we need to be able to explain what's going on. All right. So I don't know. I'm going to just choose it. All right. Okay, so now we are on the map. So it'd be great if you tell us that we are in the world. So this is going to be the map screen. We're going to stop right here because this has already been a very long first listen. We're going to come back for part 2 of this. But this is the main game here. And your character is here. This is your current arena. Please navigate everything from swiping from left to right. Go through the entire menu. Go through the entire screen. This is where your character moves. Don't worry about all that stuff you hear. There's going to be a direction pad. It's at the bottom of the screen. Listen to how to play the game. That's going to be on your first screen. It's going to teach you what all these things are. This was not in this game when I played it 3 years ago. 3 years ago, if I recall this game, it didn't have any of the instructions you needed to understand how to play it. Now that it has those instructions because of blind people and visually impaired people putting the work in, give yourselves a big hand. Thank you very much for all the people who put the work in, and to the developer for listening. So it's a symbiotic relationship, y'all. Symbiosisness is going on up in here. We got to get that symbiosisness. We need that in order to make a game work. That it takes two to tango here, okay? So let's keep swiping. So this is just the pretend like you're playing Sortie Quest. If you want to hear trees and rocks and obsidian, basically this game has like walls and floors, and then it tells you when you're on your player. Now, best practices, I like to have Settlement, if you could just tell us this is our player more clearly. Have your player jump up and go, hi! You know, that'd be really great. So let's put a little bit more description on what we're doing, where we're walking. Players can feel like they're in a vacuum in space because there isn't a lot for them. It's really hard to understand what's going on. And if our player does move, a little footstep sounds are always really cool, or a running sound, or a hovering sound, or a squeaming sound, or squishy sound. If we're a slime, whatever. Just give us some sound and movement so we know we're moving. And there's your character location image. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is our character. But what if I didn't think that's what they were trying to explain to them? It would be great if you just said, this is you. Or this is where you are. Or I don't know. Let's find a better way to say it. This is the character. I think this is explained in the help menu. I've been through a lot of menus today. So, and if I am wrong, I do truly, deeply apologize. Everything I do here is for the love of the game and the love of developers like this particular developer, Settlement. I want them to be successful, and for the love of all of you, my audience, to entertain you and just showcase these wonderful titles to you, because I think this is a wonderful game and it has a lot to offer. It has unlimited potential. There's not much you can't do with this game. I look forward to playing it. Accessibility is the only thing that holds games back, y'all. So if we have accessibility, a game can go anywhere in the universe, our heart's desire. So this is doing good so far. I'm going to keep swiping down, and you're going to hear the direction pad, and the direction pad does need a lot of love. Play around with it. Move your character in the cardinal directions: north, south, east, west. You'll get used to moving your character. Once you've moved your character, go back up to the top and find out where your character is. Remember, each one of the squares is numbered from 1 to about 40, give or take. I do not know if there's going to be big 100 long map screens. Now, developer, if you're going to start making maps that are really huge, I got some tips that will really help. Just use topography. Topography would help. Wet, cold, grassy, mossy, rocky, technology, instrument panels, bridge, stone, lava. Give us a little bit more information so we know what we're walking. Create bridges, tunnel parts, precipices, anything you can think of, portcullises. Just give us different things in the environment so that when we hear it, we can mentally and cognitively notate differences in the topography so that we know where we're moving around. So that's it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and stop right here. This is my first listen. I'm going to say this is New Def Game rated 9 out of 9. This is an absolutely fantastic title. It has a lot to go. As far as accessibility, I'm going to have to give it a 7 out of 9. There's a lot of streamlining and enhancement and upgrading we need to do here. Yes, everything's being read. There are buttons. There are everything we can think of. Accessibility here just needs some organization. So this is near close to being good. It's just going to need the community to give it to love. Now, as far as gameplay is concerned, I haven't played it a lot, so I'm going to withhold my rating on gameplay. As far as potential, 9 out of 9. This game's got tons of stuff. It's got classes. It's got pets. It's got professions. It's got treasure. It's got hundreds of items. This is gorgeous, beautiful. Sound effects. As far as sound effects, we're going to have to go down to, unfortunately, a 5 out of 9. There isn't a lot of sound going on here. We could use a lot of sound effects. There's a lot of things missing here. We can improve that. That's nothing. That's just icing on the cake. Sound effects are not even really necessary unless they have something to do with accessibility. We can improve that thing. And finally, last but not least, overall rating, I'm going to give this 8 out of 9. It has a few big missing pieces, but oh man, there's so many cool things. And of course, I always forget, as far as help, menus, and support, 9 out of 9. Absolutely awesome. I could give you the first true 10. I have never given anyone a true 10, and that's my little secret. I can break the scale. Usually we rate everything 9 out of 9. The possibility of 9 is the best, because I want it to be different. Now, I would have to say, this game really went the direction of trying to offer help. I would have to say I almost gave this game a true 10 on giving help. The only thing is they need clean up the help menus a little bit, explain things a little bit better, clean up the character selection process. If you clean up the character creation process, you could have a barn burner here. This is an absolutely fantastic title. I mean, it's just so fun to think about. I can be all these different classes. You've even got a class system and things that are best for each class. I can't even think about the potential. What other classes are you going to create, man? This is amazing. How about a gunslinger? How about like a really cool Godzilla-like character? Oh man. How about a magician? How about some aqua creature? I love what you've done here. This is absolutely fantastic. So everybody, go ahead and give Future Arena a wonderful chance. Give it a great try. Play it. There's a few parts of it, like getting out of certain menus, that are a little difficult, but let's work together with the developer in a loving, kind way, and let's make this app great. So everyone, thank you very much. And as I always say, love yourself, each other, always be kind, and let's hang out again tomorrow. Play some Stoner Islands. All right? Take care.